I can go after them and I can claim damages and I can get my money back. Think, this is business. Take ego out of it. It's Monday morning, I'm in the yard. Not the greatest starts to the week. We already have a breakdown. Scania in trying to repair this tipper. We don't know what's wrong with it yet. It's not building up air, so Scania have got to go for it from front to back. Thankfully, all the rest of the fleet are working. And last week you saw us doing the job up at my godson's house. Well, this morning, bright and early, a grab turned up with Type 1 and we took a load of muck out. Okay, so the problem has been worked out. Luckily, the parts were on the van. It's an APS, air pressure system sensor, failed. So a new APS sensor has been put on the lorry, and now they're using the diagnostic computer to calibrate everything, and they said they need to reset a couple of bits. If it builds up the air, then this lorry will be good to go out on the road again. The electrical work is today continuing, and all will be finished. At the refurbishment project, it's going to be a busy week outside. We're going to take the muck and we're going to arrive with an oversized material for the bottom of the soakaway, which is a clean stone with no fines. So let's get them 2 loads taken out and the material brought in.
All for outside and you can paint this.
Okay.
I clean all.
Yeah.
And I put the silicone.
Okay.
So if this is broken, shall I just swap them?
Yeah. We're doing some little bits and pieces on the container that may seem very small, but it needs to be done. If you look up here, there's tiny little holes everywhere from where people have been screwing bits in. We've used a grinder, cleaned it off a bit, and we're using a black sealant, and these can be painted over. To ensure the longevity of it, we need to ensure we fix all these little bits. We're also doing some work on the door because the door is very sticky and hard to open. So this is what holds the windows, and this is pretty stiff. See that? That's supposed to catch. And if I have to put my hand on it and do this, and then this, that's too much to expect people in the office to do. I can't expect them to need to have done a bicep workout before they open and close. It's little bits and pieces, little repairs everywhere to ensure that this container is fit for purpose. And now the train has arrived. The new office is almost ready for people to move in. We were going to have the air conditioning fitted on Wednesday. That has now been moved to Friday, so it can't be inhabited yet. But if you take a look inside, we are there or thereabouts. We have power, we have data, we have desks, we have chairs. And now I'm just putting all of our policies up on the wall here. We need to make sure that we've got nearest hospital, fire evacuation plan, site map. And if we step inside here, we've got extinguisher, we've got an eye wash station. They were out of first aid kits. How they can be out of first aid kits, I don't know. But the first aid kit will go on the wall. I'm gonna put some boards here so people can stick pins in and put all the important paperwork. Move the computers down here, and that's about it. It's a bit of a makeshift office. It's gonna be safe, it's gonna be heated, cooled, and people are gonna have all their equipment, so it's a good space to work. The plan didn't exactly go according to how I wanted it to go. The issue I mentioned last week about the person who was going to start in the bagged aggregates role, but it didn't happen. But at the end of the day, we push on, because I'm not waiting for anyone. We move forward, irrespective of disappointments. One of our lorries got stopped earlier by the DVSA, or VOSA, however you call them. The lorry got a clean bill of health. Let's have a look here. Driver hours fine, all tyres great, everything was perfect. Just goes to show the work we're doing in the yard with the tyres, R&M, driver training, everything seems to be working, and that goes on our record. It's a traffic light system, green, grey and red. We should be green. because we pass all our MOTs first time, majority of the time. Just now, I spoke to the client at the refurbishment project, and once again, there was a change on the stairs, but the landing. In the conversation we had, maybe I misunderstood and something was lost in communication. The landing needs a slight change to it. The landing was kind of straight and then curved and straight and curved. They want it to be one continuous curve without any breaks. So this is what it's like now. And forgive my basic drawing, but this is going to be the line that goes across it where it should be curved. So I got to go back to the fabricator with this, and hopefully he can agree it. Where's the nearest hospital going? There. Put your back into it. Come on in, push. Push, push, put your hand straight. There we go. If you don't do this, yeah, I'm going to see this blowing around in the yard in the wind. There we go. Look at that. See? You can't say you didn't know. You play football this weekend?
No, we're postponed.
Postponed, okay, good. You know what the deal is with that football, yeah?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
You good?
Yeah, until we start winning.
Okay, fine. Very good.
No mention.
That's it for Monday. It's Tuesday morning. On again. A couple of weeks back, and a few times after that, I mentioned the system which we're trying to sort out, and the company blamed our server, they blamed our IT company, they blamed the system we're running the lorries off. Well, last night I saw a bunch of emails again going back and forth, you know, general emails that don't say anything, what people send, using buzzwords. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. So when people start to play these tricks, I see through it. I can see through the buzzwords, I can see through the smoke and get to the point.
I know all the tricks.
The system's still not working. So of course at the end of the day, we received an email to say they can't find a way to make the system work, which they probably knew the entire time. So now after all these 5 months and all these Zooms and all these calls and all these words and everything that's happened, their system will not work. So now, I need a full refund. I need damages for everything that's happened. Who's gonna pay for my time? Who's gonna pay for everyone in the office's time? Who's gonna pay for the time when we uploaded all the information to this system that's not gonna work? Who's gonna pay for all these loss of earnings? No doubt they're gonna fight us on everything. There's probably some small print somewhere that says
that it's my fault and I'm an idiot.
And somehow this will be force majeure. This will be an act of God. Somehow I can see the act of God getting brought into this, and it won't be their fault, it'll be my fault. Well, I guess we're gonna be going for a fight, and we are gonna be taking a walk up the steps. We're never gonna get back our time, but at least we need to reclaim some of our losses and draw a line in the sand and then move on. I don't even want to go and look at another system. I need one, but I don't want to look at it because they'll all come through the door and make the same promises again. The promises and then the decisions. Oh, it's just so hard, man. Speaking of decisions, I told you yesterday at the refurbishment project, we were making these soakaways, we were going to take out the muck and we're going to fill them with oversized stone. But the build team have made another decision. They've overruled me, which I'm very happy with. Dudek, Bartek, Chris, all the lads. They are extremely experienced, and in some cases, a lot of cases, they know better than me. What's the point in having skilled people around you who are better than you at what they do if you're not going to listen to them? So we are not using oversized stone in this soakaway. We put shingle in the bottom of it. We're going to put membrane around. Dudek and Bartek have decided that we're going to use a crate system. I think these crates are 1 meter by 500 by 400 high, and they're going to stack on top of one another. They're going to be wrapped up, and then shingle is going to be filled all around them. And I believe these crates have to be a minimum of 450 from the surface. This is how we're going to manage the rainwater, the shingle, the water can pass through. Then the crate is going to help the filtration system to get rid of all the rainwater outside. So let's see that happen. I'm 30 minutes out from my destination, Derbyshire. I've got a speech tomorrow at the RFG, the Rail Freight Group, for those of you who don't know. Just spoke to Terry in the yard, and at last, with the 926 working, we're doing the work in the backyard. So firstly, we're scraping back and cleaning the area where the bays end just by the bagging plant. I'll get down to some solid ground and we're going to pour some concrete. We need it because the ground over there is very swampy, and the material which is going to be going in there, we need to keep it clean. Then we're going to move over to the back wall and stop dismantling. We're going to work out exactly how many blocks we've got, so we can work out how we're going to put together these new bays. And while we're doing that, we're also going to change around and put some labels up for the bays. We don't have all the labels because I was told yesterday that my 10mm label was thrown away because it was dirty. The sharp sand, the 20mm and the type 1 should all be labeled. So this is where I'm going to be standing, addressing the Rail Freight Group. It's a big deal to me because, you know, I am into trains. So tomorrow morning, I'll be doing a speech here on the importance of digital media within businesses. I like to come here before my speech, so when I turn up, I know the layout, I know what's going on, and I can be fully prepared, which I am. But, you know, you just need to see it for yourself.
Anyone who thought that Daniel was going to talk to us today about stone and concrete probably is mistaken, because I think
completely
Daniel...
right. Hi everyone, I'm Daniel. I'm here today to talk about digital media and the impact it has had on our business, and also rail, because rail has had a massive impact. Started in 2006, started out as a construction company. In 2013, we began to supply aggregates. Our company grew to a size where we attracted the attention of some of the majors. We began to just share the story. This is what we do.
Good on you. Thank you so much. And for the
Thank you.
method you're using to do it.
It's Wednesday. I'm in the car again. I'm heading back down to London after my speech, which I believe went well. There was plenty of interaction and plenty of conversations, and I met a lot more people in rail, which is always handy with the plans I've got in store. I showed you already this week the work we're doing at the refurbishment project outside, but internally we continue to work in the loft to make it completely soundproof and put all the floor levels in. Downstairs for the master ensuite, when we double checked our dimensions and we checked the location of the bath, we realized that the door to enter the room was not exactly in the middle. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take down the entire wall and build it again to make sure we get it right. Winter is coming. Generally through the winter months, I say I'm bulking, want to put on a bit of weight. But this year, I've decided to try and manage my calorie intake through those dark and wet months. So I've chosen HelloFresh. It's quick, convenient, and helps me manage my nutriment and calorie intake. Now, there are 44 new recipes each week, but for the moment, I'm focused on a November special, which is the winter warmers. All the ingredients come box fresh with easy to read recipe cards, so you don't need to be a 3-star chef to cook up something fun and tasty. So check out HelloFresh and the fantastic offer they got on at the moment. Get 60% off plus 25% off your next 2 months and free desserts for life with every HelloFresh box. Thursday morning, we're in the yard. We are about to start dismantling the bays before the train gets in, but as we dismantle them, Ben's going out selling them. So we actually needed them, but we're not going to turn down any generation of revenue. So Ben's got to go around the yard and find the blocks he needs, which are nice and strong because they were poured a long time ago and they've had a time to cure. So they're probably way past their 56-day strength. Ben's going to get loaded up. He's going to go to site. And now I'm gonna leave the yard because I haven't got my full orange on and the train's about to arrive. Let's get it offloaded. You've heard me going on and on and on about this system that isn't working and what I'm gonna do and how upset it has made me. Now I have an interesting predicament. I can go after them and I can claim damages and I can get my money back. But one thing I'm never gonna get back is time. And when I've done all of this, I have to go down this same road again and I have to speak to another company who are gonna make me loads of promises, because that's what you do. You just make loads of promises and then you sell it to them and then you work it out after. Speaking to my IT company about this server issue, they are investigating having a separate server with the minimum requirements to run only that system on it. And they're saying it may be as cheap as between 50 and 75 quid a month. Now, do I cut my nose off to spite my face and say, nah, I'm not having it, this company or this company or that, to teach them a lesson? Or do I say, think, this is business? Do I offer them and say, listen, this is how much extra it's gonna cost a month. What you're charging, if you drop your price to compensate the additional price we have to pay for a server for your system in your era, if that's gonna make your system work, should I go for that? Because then it means I may have a system which works and I won't have to start this entire process again. And when Ben goes on site with plant hire, he has an electronic system to mark down any damages or get electronic signatures which will go up to a cloud. It's very important in a situation like this to take ego out of it and take nonsense, teaching people's lessons, emotion, and all these ridiculous things. You have to take it out of it and think, what is the best decision? Now, I am waiting for the price that small server specifically for the system will be. If it does cost what I think it does, I'm gonna extend the olive branch, even though I don't like the way they've treated us, even though I don't think they're very good, and even though I don't want to talk to any of them ever again. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for Ashville. Let's see what happens and if there can still be a resolution, which they didn't find, which we found. But at the end of the day, I need the system and I need to run this business. My phone is ringing. Let's continue to dismantle these bays. Hello. Each one's different based on the mileage.
And year of manufacturing.
And this is a full warranty.
Yes, plus all these additional ones like air conditioning, MOT failure, multimedia system, emissions failure, and driver's assistance we have as well.
They've put single repair limit of £5,000. Can you just double check that with them, please? If they put it at £5,000, does that cover a new engine? What I'm most worried about is a 3-litre V6 engine going wrong. If one of the engine goes wrong, then all of this was worth it.
Annually, for 3 of them, would be 2,500. Monthly, 205. 2-year plan over 6,000. 3-year plan, 9,500.
If a 3-year plan for 3 V6 Amaroks is £9,000, I think that's more than worth it, because the amount of money that things cost on those vehicles.
But what if nothing goes wrong with them for 3 years and for nothing?
Obviously we're not covered for windscreen, tyres and damage from a crash, but we'll just work out for how long we're doing it. Because when we got Darren's car, his sat nav went straight away, and that was £2,500. If we didn't have warranty, I'd have been paying for that, and I wouldn't have been happy about that. We have 3 Volkswagen Amaroks. We're about to go up to 4. That is my car of choice for the sales team and operations. Very reliable vehicle. However, I have to try to take a calculated risk. The warranty is running out on some of them, and I want it to be extended. Now, I don't think it's unreasonable, £800 a year to give you full cover on a V6 engine, because you never know what could happen. But they're good vehicles, things don't often go wrong. And if there was damage or somebody didn't put oil in it, you wouldn't be covered anyway. That's mistreating the vehicle, and that's malice, and that's you causing damage. So I'm gonna have to assess do I want to take the risk on these free vehicles and just drive them and fix it when something goes wrong? Or do I want to put a bit of an insurance in place to look after them for the period that they are within our ownership? It's Friday morning. I'm in the car on the way to the yard. Just went to the gym quickly. And yesterday you saw me talking about the warranty for the Amarocks. Well, after a bit more digging, it turns out that, as I suspected, that warranty was not direct with Volkswagen. It was some sort of third-party insurance company, but we thought it was with Volkswagen because we contacted Volkswagen directly and they put us onto another company. So we then went back to Volkswagen and said, why did you do that? And they said,
Because we introduce people to third parties.
we don't want third party, we want Volkswagen. So Volkswagen provided us with a quote for full warranty on the Amarocks, which was £400 a year more expensive. All right, cool. But the maximum claim was £2,500. Now, if the engine was to go, £2,500 wouldn't cover it. So really and truly, it's not worth the paper it's written on, with all the caveats they put in it.
It's not covered if this, it's not covered if that, it's not covered if this, it's not covered if that.
Which is disappointing and not what I want to do, but we are where we are. Just had a chat with Dudek, and at the refurbishment project, externally we've got some tile work to do on the roof. Internally we're continuing the first fix of electric. In the loft we're closing up some areas with OSB board, and Ben should be arriving to collect the 3-ton machine. A dilemma. At a refurbishment project, we are having electric curtains or blinds on the entire ground floor and in the master. And I said that we would prepare for these to be in the other bedrooms as well and the loft. However, at the moment there are a number of systems which work wirelessly. So what we could do is run the power to all the points, and then when it's time to install whatever system it is, whether it be curtains or blinds, then you connect to the power and then it goes off the Wi-Fi. I am not comfortable with that. Call me old school, say I have no trust in modern technology, but I'm afraid that if I rely on wireless connectivity, there will be an issue and I will get a message at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's like,
Why are my blinds not working? I've paid all this money for my house and it's not working.
we need 1.2 kilometers of cable in order to run data to each and every point where there's blinds and windows. We may never use them and we may never get it back, but I think I need to just run these cables and leave them in the wall just in case. The system that I want to put in place for the curtains and blinds, who's to say that that's the one that the client's going to approve anyway? They may want a completely different one based on the fabric for the blinds that they want, and maybe there's a different mechanism. At a refurbishment project today, we're going to begin to put the blocks in place, which is going to be the step to go from the lower part of the garden to the higher part, which is going to be the entertaining area. Gonna have a meeting now with salesman Sam, and Liam is walking down the stairs. Liam, you playing football at the weekend? You are, yeah? What's the prediction of the score?
2 each.
2-2, yeah?
Yeah, 2 each.
Can't you predict a win?
Then 3-1.
3-1 to you?
Yeah.
Will you score?
I'd like to see it and try, yeah.
You'll try from right back, yeah? Yeah, well, good luck for the weekend. Now we're gonna fit the air conditioning in this office, so this office will be ready for the finance and accounting team to start on Monday morning. time is 6:39. Of all places, I'm in central London in the worst traffic imaginable, trying to get to a meeting. I know a gentleman who used to work at a major and he's gone out on his own. He's taken the leap of faith, and believed in his ability, and he started his own company. Now he's invited myself and another two gentlemen, and this is a difficult place to get to, and it is Friday night and there is plenty going on in the yard and there are multiple videos we're working on. But when somebody is starting a new business, you need to support them. Even if you can't give them any business, you can give them advice, you can help, you can support, you might be able to introduce them to people, anything you can do. Even just giving them good energy around them can get them through one extra day what could make the difference. The guy who started this new business, he's come all the way from countryside on the train and got cabs and booked the dinner. And the other two fellas have dropped out, saying that they've got other things on, they've got this, they've got that. We are all busy. I'm not saying that I'm busier than anyone else. I'm not saying that there's anywhere else I could be. I'm saying we're all busy, and I don't really like that. Not turning up when he needs support. And he's being really good about it. We've got a little group chat.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, another time.
And outside of the group, everyone seems to be messaging him because I am sending things into the group expressing how I feel about the way he's been treated. Like, we need to support people around us. Now, I'm not saying that the geezer's my best mate and we went school. I'm saying I know him and he's taken a leap of faith and he's a good guy. So I'm going to support. So I need to find my way to Sheesh, of course, because of course I said we got to go Sheesh. Where else would I go if I was in central London? And just out the fact that the other people are no-shows and they're acting like dossers, I think I'm actually going to try and find a way to give the man some business, just to put it forward, because I know what it's like to be him. I know what it's like when you got a meeting and everybody else doesn't turn up and they don't show and you feel bad, and then you have to keep a brave face and say it doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do my best to make it worthwhile for him. On site is the experience you need. The classroom will take you so far. A lot of people shy away from the site, but the more of an understanding you have of the site, the more you can do your desktop work better. That's what you do, my bro. Love the hustle, man. It's Saturday. I was in the yard earlier, gonna try and head to the gym for a bit, get my second win and continue to work. That was a young gentleman who's studying construction, and he asked me for some advice at the lights. And I'm saying, it's great, you're doing your studies. He's working on the weekend, love the hustle, young man. And he said he's gonna work on construction sites for free, but a lot of his learning is classroom based. And I was saying, you need both. Experience is the master. There's a lot you can learn in the classroom, but being on site, working with people on site, overcoming challenges, physically being there and seeing how things are built and the day-to-day run-ins is like invaluable experience that will change everything. And then you'll be able to do your job when you're sat in front of a computer. Your understanding will mean you can do it that bit better. I meet people and they say to me,
I've studied project management. I want a project manager's job.
Right. In the real world, not in the classroom, if you study project management, fantastic. If you study project management and come out of school and have the impression that you are going to walk onto a building site with skilled tradesmen, machine operators, and think that you'll be able to manage those people based on what you learn in the classroom, in my personal opinion, you will fail horribly, and I'm not sure how well you will be received by the people on the site. Learn whatever you need to learn in the classroom, put that in practice while learning what's actually going on the site. Or alternatively, you could just get all your experience from site. I didn't study construction at any school. I studied construction on the job. I don't have any letters after my name, so I can't claim to be a QS. I can't claim to be an architect. I can't claim to be an engineer. All I can say is that from experience, I have been there in the mix. I fought the battles, and I have the track record and a couple of the stars on my thing, you know, like when you're in the army, like you got the stars, you're a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star general. In my opinion, experience is the master. The classroom has a place, but experience will take you to that next level. In the yard today, it was the usual. We weren't especially busy. We were doing tyre work, ensuring everyone's ready for Monday, refueling, loading lorries, nothing out of the ordinary. And that's my 2 pence worth. He's had another rant in the car on Saturday. And that's it for Ashville Weekly, episode 162. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see an Ashville video you may not have seen before, and click here for last week's episode, which was number 161. Hopefully I got that right. Another hectic week, and there is a lot more to come.